Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode. Today is lesson day. So today I'm going to start off with this story and then we'll do exercises and then a joke of the day and then we'll end with talking with Quigley. Now, since today is Pet Day for Monroe Central's virtual Spirit Week, I have my pet Star here with me. She's been sitting on my lap. Get ready for story time. Now I just wanted to tell everybody a little bit about my cat Star for Pet Day. I have had Star since I was 10 years old. So she is a 15-year-old cat. She's very old. I've had her since I was 10 on my 10th birthday when I got her and my other cat Libby. But my cat Libby's not here with me, but I have Star. And she is a very good cat, very chill. She loves sleeping, she loves sitting by the gas heater and getting warm, and she loves to sit on people's laps. And as you've probably known through my videos, she loves it when I sing. But today for our story time, I will be reading Winnie the Pooh. And I hope you guys like it. And here's a little map in the front of the 100-acre wood where Pooh Bear lives, and Tigger, Piglet, Roo, Owl, and Rabbit, and where Christopher Robin goes to see his best friend. Winnie the Pooh, Chapter 1. We are introduced to Winnie the Pooh, some bees, and the story begins. Here is Edward Bear coming downstairs now, bump, 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 on the back of his head. Behind Christopher Robin. It is, as far as he knows, the only way of coming downstairs, but sometimes he feels that there really is another way, if only he could stop bumping for a moment and think of it. And then he feels that perhaps there isn't. Anyhow, here he is, at the bottom, and ready to be introduced to you, Winnie the Pooh. When I first heard his name, I said just as you are going to say. But I thought he was a boy. So did I, said Christopher Robin. Then you can't call him Winnie. I don't. But you said, he's Winnie their Pooh. Don't you know what "there" means? There's Christopher Robin and there's Winnie the Pooh. Ah, yes, now I do, I said quickly, and I hope you do too, because it is all the explanation you are going to get. Sometimes Winnie the Pooh likes a game of some sort when he comes downstairs, and sometimes he likes to sit quietly in front of the fire and listen to a story. This evening, what about a story? Said Christopher Robin. What about a story? I said. Could you very sweetly tell Winnie the Pooh one? I suppose I could, I said. What sort of stories does he like? About himself, because he's that sort of bear. Oh, I see. So could you very sweetly? I'll try, I said. So I tried. Once upon a time, a very long time ago now, about last Friday, Winnie the Pooh lived in a forest, all by himself under the name of Sanders. What does under the name mean? Asked Christopher Robin. It means he had the name over the door in gold letters and lived under it. Winnie the Pooh wasn't quite sure, said Christopher Robin. Now I am, said a growly voice. Then I will go on, said I. One day when he was out walking, he came to an open place in the middle of the forest. And in the middle of this place was a large oak tree, and from the top of the tree there came a loud buzzing noise. Winnie the Pooh sat down at the foot of the tree and put his head between his paws and began to think. First of all, he said to himself, that buzzing noise means something. You don't get a buzzing noise like that, just buzzing and buzzing, without its meaning something. If there's a buzzing noise. Somebody's making a buzzing noise, and the only reason for making a buzzing noise that I know of is because you're a bee." Then he thought another long time and said, "And the only reason for a buzzing bee that I know of is making honey." Then he got up and said, "And the only reason for making honey is so I can eat it." So he began to climb the tree. Winnie the Pooh. He climbed and climbed and climbed and climbed and climbed, and he sang a little song to himself. It went like this. "Isn't it funny how a bear likes honey? Buzz, buzz, buzz. I wonder why he does." See? There's Pooh Bear looking at the bees, and then there's the tree. He must be hungry. Then he climbed a little further, and a little further, and then just a little further. By that time, he had thought of another song. "It's very funny thought that if bears were bees, they'd build their nests at the bottom of the trees. And that's being so if bees were bears. We shouldn't have to climb up all these stairs." He was getting rather tired by this time, so that is why he sang a complaining song. He was nearly there now, and if he just stood on that branch, crack! Oh, falling down. "Oh, help!" said Pooh as he dropped 10 feet on the branch below him. "If only I hadn't," he said as he bounced 20 feet onto the next branch. "You see, what I meant to do," he explained as he turned head over heels and crashed onto another branch 30 feet below. "What I meant to do, of course it was rather..." He admitted that he slithered very quickly through the next 6 branches. "It all comes, I suppose," he decided, as he said goodbye to the last branch, spun around 3 times, and flew gracefully into a gorse bush. "It all comes of liking honey so much. Oh, help." He crawled out of the gorse bush, brushed the prickles from his nose, and began to think again, and the first person he thought of was Christopher Robin. Man, surprised Winnie the Pooh wasn't hurt too bad from falling out of that tree. "Was that me?" said Christopher Robin in an odd voice, hardly daring to believe. "That was you." Christopher Robin said nothing, but his eyes got larger and larger, and his face got pinker and pinker. So Winnie the Pooh went round to his friend Christopher Robin, who lived behind a green door in another part of the forest. "Good morning, Christopher Robins," he said. "Good morning, Winnie the Pooh," said you. "I wonder if you've got such a thing as a balloon about you." "A balloon?" "Yes, I just said to myself coming along, I wonder if Christopher Robin has such a thing as a balloon about him. I just said it to myself thinking of balloons and wondering." "What do you want a balloon for?" you said. Winnie the Pooh looked round to see that nobody was listening, put his paw to his mouth and said in a deep whisper, "Honey." "But you don't get honey with balloons." "I do," said Pooh. "Well, it just happened that you had been to a party the day before at the house of your friend Piglet, and you had balloons at the party. You had had a big green balloon, and one of Rabbit's relations had had a big blue balloon, and left it behind being really too young to go to a party at all. So you had brought the green one and the blue one home with you." "Which one would you like?" asked Pooh. He put his head between his paws and thought very carefully. "It's like this," he said. "When you go after honey with a balloon, the great thing is not to let the bees know you're coming. Now, if you have a green balloon, they might think you are only part of the tree and not notice you. And if you have a blue balloon, they might think you are only part of the sky and not notice you. And the question is which is most likely? Wouldn't they notice you underneath the balloon? you asked. They might or they might not, said Winnie the Pooh. You never can tell with bees, he thought for a moment and said, I shall try to look like a small black cloud that will deceive them. Then you had better have the blue balloon, you said, and so it was decided. Pooh was a very silly bear. Well, you both went out with the blue balloon, and you took your gun with you, just in case, as you always did. And Winnie the Pooh went to a very muddy place that he knew of, and rolled until he was black all over. And then when the balloon was blown up as big as you and Pooh were both holding onto the string, you let go suddenly, and Pooh Bear floated gracefully up into the sky and stayed there, level with the top of the tree, about 20 feet away from it. Hooray! You shouted. Isn't that fine? Shouted Winnie the Pooh down to you. What do I look like? You look like a bear holding onto a balloon, you said. Not, said Pooh anxiously. Not like a small black cloud in the blue sky? Not very much. Ah, well, perhaps from up here it looks different. And as I say, you never can tell with bees. There was no wind to blow him nearer to the tree, so there he stayed, and he could see the honey. He could smell the honey, but he couldn't quite reach the honey. After a little while, he called down to you. Christopher Robin, he said in a loud whisper. Hello! I think the bees suspect something. What sort of thing? I don't know, but something tells me that they're suspicious. Perhaps they think you're after their honey. It may be that. You never can tell with bees. There was another little silence, and then he called down to you again. Christopher Robin! Yes? Have you an umbrella in your house? I think so. I wish you would bring it out here and walk up and down with it and look up at me every now and then and say, tut tut, it looks like rain. I think if you did that, it would help the deception which we are practicing on these bees. Do you think Pooh Bear's trick will work on the bees? I don't think so either. Well, you laughed to yourself, silly old bear, but you didn't say it out loud because you were so fond of him, and you went home for your umbrella. Oh, there you are, called down Winnie the Pooh, as soon as you get back to the tree. I was beginning to get anxious. I have discovered that the bees are now definitely suspicious. Shall I put up my umbrella? You said. Yes, but wait a moment. We must be practical. The important bee to deceive is the queen bee. Can you see which is the queen bee from down there? No. A pity. Well, now, if you walk up and down with your umbrella, saying, tut tut, it looks like rain, I shall do what I can by singing a little cloud song, such as a cloud might sing. So while you walked up and down and wondered if it would rain, Winnie the Pooh sang this song. How sweet to be a cloud, floating in the blue. Every little cloud always sings loud. How sweet to be a cloud, floating in the blue. It makes him very proud to be a little cloud. Do clouds sing? No. The bees were still buzzing as suspiciously as ever. Some of them indeed left their nests and flew all around the cloud as it began the second verse. And one bee sat down on the nose of the cloud for a moment and then got up again. Christopher, ow, Robin, called out the cloud. Yes? I have just been thinking, and I have come to a very important decision. These are the wrong sort of bees. Are they? Quite the wrong sort. So I should think that they would make the wrong sort of honey, shouldn't you? Would they? Yes, so I think I shall come down. How? Asked you. Winnie the Pooh hadn't thought about this. If he let go of the string, he would fall, bump, and he didn't like the idea of that. So he thought for a long time, and then he said, "Christopher Robin, you must shoot the balloon with your gun. Have you got your gun?" "Of course I have," you said. "But if I do that, it will spoil the balloon," you said. "But if you don't," said Pooh, "I shall have to let go, and that would spoil me." When you put it like this, you saw how it was, and you aimed very carefully at the balloon and fired. "Ow!" said Pooh. "Did I miss?" you asked. "You didn't exactly miss," said Pooh, "but you missed the balloon." "I'm so sorry," you said, and you fired again, and this time you hit the balloon. And the air came slowly out, and Winnie the Pooh floated down to the ground. Poor Pooh. But his arms were so stiff from holding onto the string of the balloon all that time that they stayed up straight in the air for more than a week. And whenever a fly came and settled on his nose, he had to blow it off. And I think, but I am not sure, that is why he was always called Pooh. "Is that the end of the story?" asked Christopher Robin. "That's the end of that one. There are others. About Pooh and me, and Piglet, and Rabbit, and all of you. Don't you remember?" "I do remember. And then when I try to remember, I forget." "That day when Pooh and Piglet tried to catch the Huffalump, they didn't catch it, did they?" "No. Pooh couldn't because he hadn't any brain. Did I catch it?" "Well, that comes into the story." Christopher Robin nodded. "I do remember," he said. "Only Pooh doesn't very well, so that's why he likes having it told to him again, because then it's a real story and not just remembering." "That's just how I feel," I said. Christopher Robin gave a big deep sigh, picked up his bear by the leg, and walked off to the door, trailing Pooh behind him. And at the door he turned and said, "Coming to see me have a bath?" "I might," I said. "I didn't hurt him when I shot him, did I?" "Not a bit." He nodded and went out. In a moment I heard Winnie the Pooh bump, 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 going up the stairs behind him. Oh, let me show you the picture. There's Winnie the Pooh and Christopher Robin having a bath. The end. All right. Well, I hope you guys liked that story. Now, it was a little confusing on who was saying what, but what it was is that Christopher Robin's dad was telling the story, but it only had Christopher Robin and Pooh in the story. So, that was very interesting to hear it told that way, and it was very interesting to see what Pooh was trying to do with the bee's honey, and even trying to get up to the honey. He fell out of a tree, he got a balloon, he tried to look like a black cloud, and Christopher Robin had to shoot him down. Such a silly bear. Alright, now it's time for us to go to the living room and do some exercises. Hi guys, we're getting ready to do some exercises. I want to show you what we're going to do first, and then we'll get to it, and then I have a fun stretch, so we're going to do it at the end, okay? Alright, so, first thing we're going to do is chair squat. Now, if you don't have a chair, you can just do a regular squat. Pretend you're sitting in a chair. So, okay, so for the chair squat, you're going to pretending you're a chair. So you're going to put your arms out, and then you're going to bend your knees and keep your back straight. So watch Miss Hannah. There you go. You want to keep your back straight like a chair and have your arms out. Okay, we're going to do 5 squats. You ready? Okay, feet apart, arms out, back straight, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whew, good job. All right, now our next one. We're gonna do the plank. Now, we won't. All right, how we'll do the plank is we're going to get on the floor just like the picture. Now, you don't have to put your hands flat. You can put your arms like this. So, we're going to lay down. We're going to hold it for 5 seconds. Okay, here we go. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job. Good job, guys. Way to do those exercises. Now we're going to do a stretch, and since it's spring, we're going to be doing a flower stretch. So what you're going to do, you're going to sit down and pretend you're a seed. So we're going to sit like this and pretend we're a seed. Then we're going to roll forward and have our knees on the ground. Then we're going to sit up straight. Then we're going to take our arms, put them up to the side, stretch them high, and hold. Then we're going to stand up on our knees. Then our next move, you're going to put one leg up. Then you're going to stand up. And you're going to stretch like a flower. See? Wasn't that fun? All right, now let's get back to our corner for our joke of the day and talking with Quigley. Whew, that was a good workout. All right, now it's time for joke of the day, and then we'll move on to talk to Quigley. All right, so my joke of the day is, what goes up when the rain comes down? Umbrellas! Get it? When the rain comes down, the umbrellas go up. Silly Miss Hannah. All right, now we're going to talk with Quigley, but I need you guys to remember, be quiet. So Quigley, come out here. Quigley! Quigley, are you ready for our friends? Are you guys ready to say hi to Quigley? Here's Quigley. Hi, Quigley. All right, now we are talking about spring, and we just read a book about Winnie the Pooh in springtime in the 100-Acre Wood. Now we're going to talk about flowers. Do you like flowers? Me too. My favorite flower is a blue hydrangea and a sunflower. Those are my favorite flowers. What's your favorite flower, Quigley? He likes daisies, the real nice white ones that you see. And you said what else? Oh, and lilies. Lilies are his favorite too. Those are pretty flowers. What's your favorite flower? That's a pretty nice flower, I think. All right, now, so we're going to talk about spring and flowers. Now, why do we talk about flowers in the spring? Because they come out of the ground. Yes, they come out of the ground during the springtime. So, now with flowers, did you guys know there was 0.4 million types of flowers? It's true. There's 0.4 million types of flowers. And now they're all different colors. They're all different shapes and sizes. And every different flower is beautiful in its own way. Now, also, there are three things that flowers need to grow. Do you know what they are, Quigley? Yes, there's water. Flowers always need water. And they need sunlight. And then what else do they need? Do you guys know? They need water, sun, and good soil. Those are the three things that flowers need to be able to grow. And then sometimes if they don't have those things, they won't grow very well. No, they won't, Quigley. Now, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for watching. watching my video and can't wait to see you guys tomorrow.